Welcome back to the channel. So in today's episode, we're going to go through everything that's in my ultimate adventure van life first aid kit. Now why are we doing that? Because safety is cool. And obviously I'm joking around a little bit, but there's absolutely no reason to do anything outdoors adventurous without being prepared. And then with that being said, there's no reason that doing anything outdoors adventurous should go terribly if you are prepared for it. So that's why I have this ultimate adventure van life first aid kit. Now that my van is built, I'm just waiting on some better weather, but I plan on getting out and doing all sorts of adventures. Canoeing, hiking, probably ride my bike, that kind of stuff. And I just want to be ready for all situations that may or may not arise. This is essentially my base camp first aid kit. Like, obviously it's kind of big. It's in a waterproof container. I bought this container at Princess Auto for like 15 bucks. Should be waterproof, so this is my base camp. It's going to be in my van at all times. And then I can take this out, put it in my canoe when I go canoeing, and then I always have my first aid kit with me. If I am going hiking, I'm probably going to eliminate some of this stuff and put a smaller in a little dry bag, carry it with me as a smaller first aid kit, because this is a base camp. But there's just so many things that could go awry, especially in a van situation, because you're not only really worried about yourself, there's other people around, right? You could come across, in a van, you could come across an accident. But if you're going out hiking, you're going to campsites, there could be injuries from that. There could be mountain bike crashes, axe injuries. You might come across somebody that's lost, cold, wet, cuts, ankles. Like, there's just so many things that could happen that you need to be prepared for. So that's what we're doing today. We're going through this. I did use my sister as a consultation to build this, and I have an episode of my podcast, the Sarge Inc. podcast, on Spotify. It'll be episode 10, where we basically rate my first aid kit, go through what I need, what I didn't have at the time, now I have in here. So you should check that podcast out with this video. Anyways, I've said enough. I'm going to get started. First things first, I have this. This is a satellite messenger system, because the number one thing you should do is call somebody that knows what they're doing. I haven't opened the box yet. I will probably make a video on that later. But as far as a survival kit tool, this is one of the most important things. I'm excited for it. Anyways, I'm going to get into the kit now. So again, first things first, this thing, 15 bucks, waterproof seal, should float. So when I do my canoe, plan on doing a lot of canoeing, should float. First things first, I have rolled gauze. I have a lot of it. It's very versatile. Rolled gauze. I got some tensor bandages. At first I only wanted to have one in there, but then it was like, well, I might as well have two, because you never know. You might go with a rolled ankle, which results in a fall on a wrist, arm extended. You might need two, or you could even have two people injured. We got moleskin. This is chafing cream. We got afterbite. Bugs are serious business. This is antiseptic spray. We got Rolaids. You don't want heartburn in the woods unnecessarily. And then also, there's one more talking point. I do plan on getting some diarrhea medicine. I don't have any in here, but nobody wants to be shitting in the woods violently. So you got to be prepared. I got to get some diarrhea medicine, but I do have some Rolaids for minor upset stomachs. I got trauma scissors. These will cut off your clothes. Not in that kind of way. I got an emergency blanket. I think cold is one of the most likely scenarios you're going to come across when you're outdoorsing, especially in a van. Like, you never know. You might come across, if you're going camping, there could be hikers in the area, whatever. People might be cold. These are simple. They work. They're worth having. I have a bunch of hand warmers. Again, cold, hypothermia. It's a real threat. And I do think it's like a very likely threat. I did also say I do like canoeing. I plan on taking this canoeing with me. People get wet. And when they're wet, they're cold. I think being prepared for that is so important. We got a life straw. I have a water filter when I go backpacking, but this is just an emergency one. You never know. Even in BC here, we had some landslides that wiped out the highway and stranded people. You never know when you might be stranded in your van and you're going to need some clean drinking water. Dehydration will kill you. I got tape. This is just neon hockey tape. I probably could have got something less flashy, but that's no fun. I got aspirin, pain relief, but also heart attacks. Sometimes I camp with my dad. My dad is an old man. He's 67. I'm kind of fat myself. People aren't. People like to push the limits when they're hiking. You never know. Heart attacks, real, aspirin, good thing to have. You never know. This is just simple, like Q-tips essentially, cotton swabs, cleaning stuff, whatever. I got a pair of gloves. These are instant cold compresses. I got 2 of them. Again, a rolled ankle, we kind of laugh, it sounds minor, but if you're 15 kilometers up a trail, you roll an ankle badly, you're going to have to hike out most likely. You know, that's going to really help. You roll an ankle, someone else rolls an ankle. A cold compress is a great idea. Also, it might make a burn feel better. So I do have burn cream. Burns happen. Campfires, camp stoves, whatever. It happens. I got some gravel. Again, it goes with the upset stomach. Stuff can happen. This is a little survival bracelet. I raided one of my little mini first aid kits, survival kits. I just took some of the stuff out of there because I have space in my kit. So this is one of them. It's made of paracord. It's got a whistle. Whistles are important. Whistle will travel way further than a voice. And if you're lost, hug a tree, blow a whistle. You know, there's some sort of foam tape. I don't really know what use is, but it came in my other survival kit that I cannibalized for this. I got a glow stick, worth having. I had it. I got new skin. This is like paint on skin. I just think it's good. It'll help eliminate infections, right? Like if you have an open wound, you cover it. It's a good thing to have. What else do I got in here? I got some Buckley's cold medicine. You never know. If you're feeling under the weather, it's good to have. What do I got in here? Hand sanitizer, simple. You got to keep things clean. A random carabiner, not for climbing use. Very important. We got safety pins, essential thing in every first aid kit. Honestly, you know, you could even repair your clothes, pull out a sliver, whatever, worth having. Got some more tape. It's kind of dirty. That's why I have the clean tape. The clean green. I got fire starters. What is this? That's an empty... It's an empty bag from this little multi-tool. Again, it's just in my little survival kit. It's got a little blade. It's probably never going to help you, but I had it. I just threw it in here. More random tape. I got Tylenol. I think this is actually Tylenol and ibuprofen. So I have ibuprofen, Tylenol, and aspirin. The one thing I thought of, like, you never know, there could be a really serious injury, like rolled ankle, slip, break a wrist. Should I have, like, real pain medicine, like a Percocet? That's one thing I thought of, but my sister, she said no, that'll be fine, and I kind of agree, but then it's like, Should I have some heavy duty meds? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna keep going. Got a flashlight. Again, I had it in my little survival kit. It was worth having. These are allergy medicine. It's not Benadryl. It is chlortripolone. I might buy some Benadryl because of the name. But I think it's important to have. You never know, you might react to a bee sting, some weird plant, something you ate. It's worth having. I got a triangular bandage. You can use it, I guess, as a tourniquet, back pitcher, as a shoulder sling. Important because I do think a fall, arm extended, you never know, broken wrist, broken arm, sore shoulder. These are the things that I think could happen, very likely. I got a BioSteel, electrolytes, a couple of them. I got dental floss. It's not really a first aid emergency, but if you have something stuck in your teeth, you got to get it out. Polysporin, again, infections, you try to prevent them. If you have an open wound, you prevent them. Liquid skin, if you get them, you're going to have to deal with them. Polysporin, complete with 3 antibiotics. It's a good thing to have. Essential in anything. Again, with Polysporin, I got, these drops are antibiotic eye and ear drops. Treats for pink eye. I don't know if I got pink eye, but I got mud in my eye from working on my vehicle one time. My eye all swelled up. So I bought this. That can happen if you're dirty. You got dirty water. You can so easily get it. And if your eye is, if you get some sort of eye infection on a trail in the backcountry, it's not a good situation. Worth having. Let's see this. Burt's Bees Salted Caramel Chapstick. I don't really know what to think of that flavor. Moisturizing lip balm. You know, it's not really, like I said, not really first aid emergency, but it's worth having in here. I got little crappy scissors. They were in my first aid kit. But again, actually, this is a good point. When you buy like a little cheap first aid kit, they come with Band-Aids and little scissors. Which, if you're in a real like emergency, you like, do you want these scissors? Like, what are these things going to cut? They might cut gauze, but it is worth, to me, getting some real scissors that are actually going to cut and be effective. Because if you are in a bad situation, like, what do you want to rely on? Size doesn't matter, but size matters. Another thing with cheap first aid kits versus real first aid kits, this is the tweezers that comes in my original low budget little first aid kit. But if you look, I don't know how well you're going to see this, but when you squeeze this, the tip actually gets further apart. So you think you're prepared because you bought a little cheap $25 first aid kit, but you're not really prepared, because if you have a sliver and you're relying on these garbage tweezers, like, you're effed. So get some real tweezers that can actually pinch something. So if you do have a sliver, whatever, metal shard in your finger, it'll actually be effective. So these tweezers are already gone. They're here for demonstration purposes only. I should throw those scissors, but I'm not going to, because that would be dangerous. I got a fire starter, Flint. I've never practiced with one of these, but since I have the space, I have it in here. I don't know if I could rely on it, because I don't have that skills. What else are we doing here? Speaking of fire starting, we got a lighter. I was going to say something there, but you know, you got to be able to start a fire. I got another glow stick. This is a little, one of those things you breathe into to breathe into somebody's mouth. I don't know how to do mouth-to-mouth CPR, but be prepared like you do know what you're doing. This is a little fork, knife, spoon combo. Obviously not really first aid related, but I got it for Christmas. from my lovely sister that I mentioned earlier. So I put it in there just to make her feel better about not wasting her money on a gift that I'm never going to use. Then we got large gauze pads. I got 10 of them. I think it's the whole box that these originally came in. Again, gauze is very, I guess it's universal. Like if you don't have a Band-Aid that'll fit, or if you got road rash, if you crash on a bike, you just have gauze, tape it up, whatever. It's just so much more versatile than just Band-Aids alone. So I have the whole pack in there. I have an emergency rain poncho. Again, it goes kind of with the, whatever, the solar blanket. You never know if someone's cold, they're wet. You're going to want to be dry. If somebody's in a situation, you might have to have a prolonged period where it makes somebody comfortable while you're waiting for a rescue team to come in. Again, if you really think about it, there's so many situations where it could very easily become bad if you're not prepared. So be prepared. Take the time to think about this stuff. This is the last thing in my box before I get to my Band-Aid section. But this is a splint. So, again, I don't think it's that out of the realm of possibilities to say you break an arm, slip on a rock, twist your ankle, fall down, break your arm. This is a splint, so you can wrap it up, get it all tight, and I just think it sure as heck beats trying to find some dirty stick and holding your arm together with that. This is like meant for that. I think they use this in the emergency room or on ambulances. It's a SAM splint, as they call them. This is one of the biggest things I wanted to get that next level first aid kit. And this is the simple stuff. This is just Band-Aids. This is basically chaos in a bag. I want to organize it. And the organizing is also good because you never know when you're going to have the need for some Ziploc. So this is for demonstration purposes. But I am going to organize this specifically because in the event of a first aid situation, you want to be somewhat organized. You're already stressed enough. You want to be able to like react and not cause even more panic in a panic situation. Although, do your best not to panic. It's some iodine pads, prep pads, whatever. We got alcohol wipes. We got sting relief. I have Afterbite, but this is all cannibalized out of like a regular old first aid kit. Prep pad. We got Band-Aids of different sizes. This is a regular old Band-Aid. Some sort of butterfly looking Band-Aid. We got soap wipe. Soap wipe. What do we got here? These are steri strips. So these will close a open wound. So it's like poor man stitches. So you could close a wound with your steri strips, tape it up with some gauze, maybe some of this skin stuff, you know. You can see how having more stuff just gives you so much more like opportunity to like fix a situation. Because you never know what can arise. Sterile gauze, Band-Aid, Band-Aid, Band-Aid. We got big Band-Aids. This is one thing, like I just think very limited, like having a whole bunch of these Band-Aids. Doesn't matter how many Band-Aids you have. If you have a big cut, you gotta have some big Band-Aids. More alcohol pads. So I have like 4 different types of cleaning pads. More Band-Aids, alcohol pads. Again, this is my total chaos here. Antiseptic wipes. Again, it should be, you're seeing this now, you should be more organized than this. This is a little first aid booklet. I'm probably going to invest in a better first aid booklet because, again, I don't really know what I'm doing. I have taken a first aid course, but, you know, I think I should get a bigger booklet that gives me a better idea of what to do in the event that I actually have to do something. What do we got? Multiple different types of Band-Aids. And this is the final thing that I haven't mentioned yet. And this is just Saline Solution. I have, what do we got here? I got 6 of these little mini tubes. So it's the best thing to clean out a wound. Like obviously, we're talking about infections earlier. You got to clean out a wound. individual use. I got 6 different ones if you have to clean multiple different wounds. You know, very important. And then once a wound is clean, you're not going to have any more problems. It's key. Anyways, that's it. That's everything that is in my ultimate adventure van life first aid kit. If you think there's anything I should add, you should write it in the comments. If there's anything that is in here that's wholly unnecessary, say it in the comments. And again, I do have a companion podcast with this. It'll be episode 10 on the Sergeant podcast on Spotify with my emergency room nurse of a sister. She rates this, makes fun of me. You know, I think it's worth listening to. You get some of the backstory. Yeah, that's it. Be safe. And that's all I really have to say for the end of this episode. Have a good one.